Is it live?
Welcome. No, it's not live, mate. Welcome to Just Chopsing Podcast.
Hold on a second then, because something's come up on my screen. This meeting is being recorded by the host.
Yeah, that's me.
Okay, got it. That's you. What's your name?
Okay, welcome to today's Just Chopsing Podcast with David and myself. My name is Terry. David's name is David, and we are with Spike. I'm not going to tell you his other name because his other name is top secret.
I think everybody knows by now I'm not old.
Well, you're not as old as me, so.
Do you know my real name?
Jonathan Gray, innit?
Yeah, my son is Jonathan, and my grandson.
Oh, you're all Jonathan Grays, yeah?
Well, Jonathan Gray.
Is that like 50 Shades?
Well done, lads. Well done. No way, AY. But it could be. Somebody actually gave me that book, 50 Shades of Grey, the signing once, and they're doing a different version of it, and they put me on the cover.
Oh, right, okay.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I've never actually seen that movie. But...
Apparently all my ex-girlfriends think I've never read the book, but I'm very similar to that guy. And I've never seen the film. He must be a hell of a guy.
No, I've never seen it either. I've never even read the book. So
we're men, aren't we? Would we
I suppose,
like
yeah.
that?
That's it.
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah,
we're
good,
awesome.
man.
We're awesome.
Finally. I was rushing around, because I had a parents' evening at the school, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How
and
did
I didn't
go?
want to fob this interview off again.
Isn't parents' evening the worst evening?
Well...
I've been to a few of them.
Have you?
Oh, yeah, with my son. Oh, my God. It was horrific. But luckily, everybody recognised me from the Quireboys, and they give him a bit of a break. They were going to expel him at some point.
Never.
And so the guy who, the headmaster, was a big Quireboys fan, and he kept him in.
Oh,
so
right.
then I said to him, if you get arrested one more time, I'm going to send you to military school. And he went, You wouldn't fucking dare. And he got arrested again, so I sent him to military school.
Never.
Right, okay.
I did. It cost us 40 grand a year, but he came out wonderful.
Maybe I'll have to try that. I could never afford it, but...
No, well, I'd put it this way, right? It wasn't money well spent. But we're best friends now. He's 27 now, so he's all right.
Oh, that's cool. That's good.
He's not actually in the military, though, is he?
Well, do you know what? I think he'd love to be in the military, but once he went to military school in Canada, because he was a Mountie. It was a Mountie.
Oh, okay.
My son lives... He had a hard life. He lived in Los Angeles. He lived in London. He lived in Toronto. He lived all over the world, but it was a really hard life for him, as you can imagine.
Yeah.
But we're best friends now.
Well, it reflects on your kids, doesn't it?
I know, but you know what? And my grandson's wonderful. They all live in Canada now, so I'm going to go and see them soon. Unfortunately, when we done the Quireboys last tour, we played in. We were doing an American tour, then we went off to Australia, and then we were going to finish in Canada because the Quireboys. We were back to America, then finishing in Canada, and I'd arranged to stay there for a month afterwards, but we had to fly back from Chicago for the pandemic.
Oh,
so
right.
it was like it's the only reason I'd done the tour, and then bloody hell, look what happens.
Yeah.
Well,
what happened with your rock cruise thing the other week? You caught Corona or what?
Corona? I was drinking too much Corona. No. Yeah, I did, actually. But, when you book the tickets, I was on the phone to the travel agent, and he says, have you done your test? And I went, yeah. And I says, well, I'll do one. Yeah. And he says, all right. And it came back positive, the lateral flow. And then it was like 2 days before, and I says, oh, shit, I've tested positive.
Yeah.
And then I've done the PCR test, and that came back, so I couldn't go.
Oh, so nice.
But apparently everybody on the cruise got it anyway. So.
Oh, did they? Well, that's hardly surprising, isn't it?
The amount of people I spoke to got it. So, yeah. I know a lot of people thought I didn't want to go, but I was like, what the fuck, man? Of course I'm going to go.
Yeah,
know?
maybe the rest of the band already had it.
Huh?
Maybe the rest of the band already had it and they gave it to everyone on the boat.
Probably. I don't know. Tammy got it. I spoke to Tammy the other day. He got it. A lot of people got it off the cruise. But the thing is with them cruises, I've done them a million times. I've done so many of them. And you have to give yourself at least 4 or 5 days after the cruise because you get so ill when you come off because it's just like it's a breeding ground for everything on them, you know?
Okay,
When you're on there, you can just drink, you know, you're drinking and what have you. And then when you come off, you need at least 3 or 4 days to pull yourself together. I do anyway.
Yeah.
David went to Winter's End and he's moaning about that.
Winter's End, is that?
Yeah, I'm just tired. That's all.
Where's Winter's End?
It was in Leamington Spa this year.
I thought you meant in Germany.
No. Just up in Leamington Spa. It was the Planet Rockstock one. But
right.
the place they had it in
a caravan site.
No. It was in an indoor arena called the Assembly, I think it was called, in Leamington. Nice, like a nice old-fashioned theatre. But there was nowhere to sit, so we were in there from 1 o'clock till 12 o'clock on your legs. And well, you know what it's like.
Age isn't any good, lad.
Well, that's it. I'm one of the youngest ones that go. To be fair, most of the guys are older than me. So
you've got to think about all the old rock fans that got to these gigs. People don't think about them, you know.
No, I know. So, but it was a great weekend.
I read this thing about when I played with Slash, and he done this, you know, classic rock, right? And the people were putting his albums out, and he went, "Can you believe, man?" He says they're putting a poster with my album, right? And he says, "How many 50-year-old or 60-year-old men are going to want a poster of me on their wall?" You know, it's just true, isn't it? We don't have posters of rock bands on the wall anymore, do we?
No. I mean, you know? I don't think
apart from behind you. Who's that?
Yeah.
Is that Rainbow?
No, it's not Rainbow.
Is that
George and Bungle?
Yeah. Have you seen all them on the internet? Yeah. I like Lager Fanny. Have you seen the things? That's great.
Yeah, what do they call it? They call it the uncut rainbow or something, don't they?
I don't know. I think he's dead now, isn't he?
Who?
The guy who does it.
Which one?
Who did the voices?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, anyway.
I don't know.
I can't see myself on here. Do I look like I'm in a studio or something?
No, you look like you're on your phone. Are you on your phone?
I'm on an iPad.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You see, yeah.
There we go, yeah.
I'm getting there, lads.
So you're on a big phone.
I had the first ever. Do you know what? I had the first ever mobile phone. I had one of them huge. When Sharon Osbourne managed the Quireboys.
Yeah.
We were on tour with the Red Dogs. I mean, Paul Guerin, who's in the Quireboys now, he tells the story better than me. But he was like, he said, "I couldn't believe when you turned up with that phone." And it was like, you know, like one of them huge phones with a wire. He says, "Oh, Sharon wants to touch." He says, "Can I call me mum?" And I was like, everybody was like, wanting to use the phone. It was the first mobile phone, huge, you know, with a big box.
Massive.
You had to carry a car battery around with it or not?
Hey, it was unbelievable. And the bill was a fortune.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
You know, in them days, yeah.
It's about
I'm talking like
quid a minute.
it wasn't like during the war when you had to wind it up. It was a proper. But then Phil Mogg had a phone in his Ferrari. I don't know how that worked. I don't think it worked though. I think it was just for show.
Just for show, yeah.
And I don't even think it was his Ferrari.
I was going to say I had one in my BMW, but that didn't work. Way back
German,
in the day.
isn't it?
It's German.
If it had been Welsh, you would have been fine.
That's right. Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah, it would have been a can with a long bit of string on it.
Long bit of string from Holland to south of Wales. So, how long have you been doing this for? This show?
Nearly a year now.
Am I interviewing you though?
Yeah, you are.
I think so.
Have you been doing it long?
Almost a year.
Oh, brilliant. Going well?
No
Yes.
Who have you had on?
idea. Don't tell me you haven't watched any episodes, Mike.
You've watched every episode, really, haven't you? You just tested us.
I've just got an iPad working. Oh, well, lads.
And we've had Susie Quattro on.
I met Susie Quattro.
Yeah?
I carried our bags up to a room, right, in Germany when we were doing a festival, and she didn't even thank me.
Never.
And I said, Susie, I bought Can the Can when I was 10 years old. It was one of the first records I ever bought.
Yeah.
It's horrible when you meet your heroes and they're horrible, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, she was nice to us, to be honest.
She didn't even thank me for carrying our bags.
I don't know.
Who else we had on, Dave?
I think she'd had a long trip.
Somebody that Spike would know.
Wolfsbane, Blaze Bailey.
Oh, Blaze.
Yeah.
Me and him won the first cover Kerrang together.
Yeah.
It was me and Blaze. Yeah. Can you imagine that in them days? 2 unsigned bands, right? But this is what was great about Kerrang at the time, because we all knew old friends with everybody, and the Quireboys, Wolfsbane, 2 up-and-coming bands, and we'd done a tour together, and they put us on the front cover of Kerrang.
That's cool.
And that cover will not be allowed anymore.
Yeah.
Because in that cover, right, if you look at it, Phil Mogg, who was my manager at the time, Phil, have you heard of UFO?
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Just kidding, lads. What he done was, he says, hey, he gave me like a replica gun, right? Like a proper, and I thought it was a replica. And it was Ray Palmer at the time who was taking the pictures, and we're in the studio. And I says, oh, Phil, give us. So if you look in the picture, there's this gun there, right? Like the 45. And he went, and Ray Palmer, God bless him, he says, do you think that's real? And we'd had a few drinks at that point, and he went, and I says, do you know what? It's a Phil Mug. He gave us it for the photo shoot. And I says, should we test it? Right? And we fucking shot it up on the ceiling, right? And it went off, and it was a real fucking gun. And we all went, oh shit. Ask Blaze, did he ever mention this to you?
No.
We went to go running upstairs to see if there was anybody upstairs, because it went right through the ceiling. We could have fucking killed somebody. That would have been the end of mine and Blaze's career. So that's the gun that's on the front cover.
That's mad. I'll have to have a look at that later.
That was when he used to look like Oliver Tobias.
Yeah.
And my mum said to him, he's gorgeous, wasn't he? Oliver, I says, Mum, have you seen him lately? And we met up, and she went, he doesn't look like Oliver Tobias anymore.
No, he doesn't anymore, no.
Yeah.
No,
he's such a lovely guy. I love him to death.
Oh, he's a nice fella.
I love him to death. He's
a nice fella. Yeah, we had...
And I seen him when he joined Iron Maiden, but I lived in LA as well. And we had a good laugh in the Sunset Marquee that night when he was playing with them. It's a shame. Yeah, I thought he was great in them.
Yeah, he had nothing but good things to say about the Iron Maiden lads, mind, didn't he?
Yeah, they're all nice guys.
Yeah, he said he loved it, and he learned a lot as well. He said it was amazing how much he didn't really know about the business or the way to conduct yourself and all that. He said it was really good schooling for him as well, which I was cracking at.
He said when we were in Hollywood and staying there, he says, have you got any advice? I said, don't fucking listen to me. You'll be fired within 2 weeks. Yannick's lovely and all that. And I was with them that we went to the it was because they were on EMI as well, Iron Maiden, and there was a big do in New York, and whether you have a big meal, I didn't realize what was going on, but then all of a sudden I'm sitting next to Yannick, the guys from. There was a really bizarre table that I was sitting on. It was me, Yannick, John Taylor from Duran Duran.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, all these bizarre characters, and we had such a laugh that night. But, I ended up on the front page of the New York Times that evening because Sinead O'Connor was there, and we got into a bit of a to-do.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So
less said about
that's another story.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah.
You might have a story about every one of our guests, actually.
Probably.
Yeah, you've probably worked with most of them, I would imagine, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I don't know. Name us some.
Yeah.
Toby.
Well,
Do you know
Toby
Toby?
Davro?
No,
Toby Davro, yeah.
Jim Jameson? Eric Bristow?
we've tried for a couple of them. Terry probably have. Yeah, we've we've had Toby Jepson on, who was out of Little Angels and Wayward Sons now.
Yeah.
We had him on for a good podcast. Just thinking who else we've had on now. You might have.
Well, Michael Lee, who was in Little Angels, who joined Page and Plant. He played on my solo album, It's a Treat to Be Alive.
That's right, yeah.
And because I'd seen him when I was on, and I recorded it in Newcastle at a place called Lambton Park, which used to be Lambton Lions Park.
Okay.
And I remember I picked him up from Darlington Station. Well, I picked him up from Darlington Station. It was me and Paul Guerin. And I says, hey, what's it like, from Lear Jets to Darlow Station? And then Michael Lee was such a lovely man, and he was probably he was a great drummer. And we went, they used to drink, we were all drinking at that time, but Michael Lee certainly outdrank everybody on that record, and we had such a wonderful, I miss him so much. And then he joined the Quireboys afterwards, and Paul Guerin and Keith Weir of my first solo album. They all joined the Quireboys afterwards.
Yeah,
so,
and you had Phil Martini in there as well, didn't you? He's in the Wayward Sons now with Toby.
I counted the drummers up one day, and it was like Spinal Tap, man. I was like, a few died, a few ended up in mental hospitals, but you got to remember that the Quireboys started when I was like very young, before we got our record deal. So we'd been on, we'd done that thing of being in the back of a transit van for like 6-7 years, sleeping on the amps and doing all that. And when actually me and Guy Bailey counted them up one day, and I think it was about, up till now, there's been about 28.
28?
Maybe 29. 28 or 29. And Harry from Thunder wants to be drummer 30. And I says, I'm sure I can do that for you. Can I be drummer 30? But hey lads, drummers, they hit things for a living. How are
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah. So, drummers are a breed of their own, aren't they?
They are, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, they need to be, really, don't they?
I had one at my door the other day. And do you know how I knew it was a drummer?
Go on.
Because it was knocking and then it speeded up. We've got tons of them.
Yeah, I've seen you
on.
Go on, sorry.
Yeah, we have. We had Dane Campbell.
Dane Campbell on. Out of Phil Campbell and the Bastard Sons.
Oh, brilliant. Okay.
Yeah, we've had Ronnie Huxford on as well, out of Those Damn Crows.
All right, I've played with them lots. Yeah.
Guys. Not long ago, didn't you?
Yeah.
Pardon?
You played with them not long ago. Those Damn Crows.
Yeah, not long ago.
Yeah,
great guys. Yeah.
Well, of course.
We've had Matt Mitchell on as well. I know Matt supported you, didn't he, with Cold Hearts?
All right, great. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, are you going to edit this?
No,
we don't edit anything.
Okay.
That's all right.
Well, I'm not drinking. It's just.
You can have a drink if you want.
You're going to edit it.
I'm not going to edit it.
I'm not going to drink anyway.
Don't worry about it.
I watched a brilliant video with you a couple of weeks ago, actually. There was you and Tyler.
In Edinburgh.
And you were doing a postcard for a pint, a postcard on a pint short clip.
Something with a pint.
Postcard.
Can you remember that?
Postcards with a pint.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah.
I can't remember the guy's name now.
Wills.
Yeah, Wills. Yeah,
Wills.
Yeah.
I didn't realize Wills is such a lovely guy.
Yeah.
And but Tyler woke me up and he went, "Come on, we're going to do this." And I was like, "All right, then. Just tell us what to say." And then, but obviously that was kind of tits up with Tyler. You know what I mean?
Well, I said to Wills, I said that was marketing genius getting them pair on there. I said, and to have them both drunk as well. And he said, oh, they weren't really drunk. That was just...
we just put it on like Dean Martin.
That's what he said.
I spoke to Tyler last night, actually.
Oh, did you?
Sends his love. Play some Hot Knives when we're finished.
Yeah,
we're talking about doing. We're going to do another Hot Knives album.
Oh, are you?
We usually get together every 5 years.
Yeah.
And I says, you know, I was like, Tyler, I think we're getting a bit old to like leave it every 5 years.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? But he played with me, and I did a solo gig at Bannerman's, and Tyler got up and he played before I played, and then we got up and played a few Hot Knives songs, and
right, okay.
And it was a great evening. He did the most funniest thing. I thought I had one of, but probably it was my birthday. I wonder if I've got one lying around. I don't think I have. But he had the whole audience. It was so, Bannerman's, and so I turned around, and he got the entire audience with Spike masks on.
No.
Oh, right, yeah.
It was the most bizarre thing to see, because he had Spike masks made, but they were from like when I was 22 or 23, so it was like looking at my son.
Oh.
It's like all these people looking at it. And they looked like my son, which was very funny. And then he threw cake in my face. And then he threw cake in his face, and then we carried on doing what we do.
Yeah.
That's it.
And, yeah, he's a great guy. So we're going to do a new Hot Knives album properly this time.
Oh, right, okay.
He freaks out when we write songs together, because I tell him he can't go to a minor chord.
Oh, right.
But,
and he's not allowed to sing about bandits.
no, he is.
No, I was going to say, if you tell him he's not allowed to sing about bandits.
Wolverhampton. Hey, look, can you see this? Look what Tyler made me. Have you seen this? Can you see it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the morning when you're... So do me Tyler impersonation for you.
Yeah.
Well, you sound both quite similar, don't you, really? Oh, it might
I believe
off now.
this, yeah. For Tyler. How come it never rains? It only pours. I should do the impersonation of him.
Yeah.
No. We fell into each other's eyes. It's the right info. Shaw, give it up for Tyler.
Go on.
Brilliant.
Oh.
I love a bit of Dogs to More Me.
He's great, Tyler. We've known each other since the days of old girl, when he used to play at the Greyhound, because he was banned from the Marquee. He used to play down the Greyhound. We used to play the Marquee, and so I used to see him down the Greyhound, and then we used to hate each other, because it was, the rivalry.
Very similar bands, I suppose, weren't you?
No, it was nothing to do with that.
Oh.
It's nothing to do with that.
Okay.
It's all to do with fucking girlfriends.
All right.
I can't remember if I shagged his or he shagged mine, but obviously mine would have been a lot prettier.
You must have shagged yours then. That's it.
Yeah, no, he didn't care back then. Just thought he'd have a shag. But no, Tyler's wonderful. He came to my father's funeral. My father's funeral, and like at a funeral, and everybody came because my dad used to come on tour with me all the time once the band was really big. And but like when you go to a funeral, and like, people, they might stay for like 2 or 3 days or whatever. Yeah. And Tyler came, and he didn't leave. I had a caravan, like a gypsy caravan in the garden at my mum's. And Tyler didn't leave for 1.5 years. I'd come back from my tour and go, is he still here? But that's how we done the Hot Knives album. He was so lovely. We done that album in Newcastle, and he went, come on, you're going to have to snap out of this. Because, my dad was only 60 when he died, and it was heartbreaking. And I love my dad so much. And he says, come on, let's write some songs and let's do an album. And that was how Spike and Tyler's Hot Knives came about. Then Newcastle, thanks to Eric Cook as well, who's no longer with us, which is such a shame because he put all that together. And then it all started from there with the Hot Knives thing.
Yeah, right, okay.
But great album. Everybody loves that album. We play in Spain all the time, and every 5 years.
Yeah.
I said, maybe the audience is going to be dead by the time we do the next one.
Yeah, probably.
You have to do it every 2 years or something.
Yeah. We'll have to do it every year now. Just in case. So no, we've had some great times together. Honestly, great times.
Did you get that video released after Spike's Free House? Or was it still
Spike's Free House, the album's coming out later on this year.
Oh, it's coming out this year, is it?
Yeah, it's coming out with... it was recorded live at Sweden Rock with Simon Kirke and Luke Morley and Mark Stanway. It was a shame because what happened was that album, it was Simon Kirke and Andy Fraser. And it was going to be the first time because on the album that I'd done, 100% Pure Frankie Miller, it was the first time that they'd been on a record together in 40 odd years. Because you got to remember, they were only young. They were only about 18, 19 when they'd done Free. Yeah. You know what I mean? They weren't. I don't even think they even got into the 20s by the time Paul Kossoff died.
Okay.
And so Andy Fraser, who played on the album with Simon Kirke, we'd organised the whole thing, and how it come about was I got an offer to do Sweden Rock, and we would do so instead of Frankie Miller's band used to be Frankie Miller's Full House, and it was like, well, they said, well, what about if you do the songs by Frankie Miller? And that's just all right, but at the time I didn't realise I was going to have Simon Kirke and Andy Fraser, so what? And I was speaking to Luke Morley, and I says, what about if I call it Spike's? He says, what are you going to call it? And I says, well, what about if I call it Spike's Free House? And then he went, oh, that means we can play some Free songs as well. So what we done was we were playing half Free, half Frankie Miller. And then 2 weeks before, I mean, we had about 17 shows booked all over Europe and everywhere like that. And Andy fucking died 2 weeks before, and even had the T-shirts done.
Oh no!
And with Andy on and everything. Yeah. So it was like, so we said, well, we shouldn't do the whole. We just done Sweden Rock.
Yeah.
And Nick, who plays bass in the Quireboys, stepped in at the last minute. So, but it was. I said to Simon Kirke is a wonderful, funny man, and it was like when we were playing we rehearsed up in Newcastle, and I was looking at Luke, and I was like, when we kicked into like All Right Now or My Brother Jake, it was like, oh my God, that's and Luke's like going, it's just like the record, isn't it? And I was like, this is incredible, And then I told him that the old joke, right, which I shouldn't have done, and Luke looked at me and I said, Simon, have you ever met Paul Kossoff's brother? I said, I've met him before. He's called Wang. And he says, I've never met him. And Luke Morley looks at me and went, I fucking believe you just said that. And then it took a bit of time for it to go into Simon's head. Wang Kossoff? Okay. Oh, right. I got it. That's an old joke.
Yeah.
But, So anyway.
So how did you meet Frankie Miller?
That's coming out. That's coming out at the end of the year, live at Sweden Rock. And there's also, they filmed the entire thing. Eric Cook filmed the entire thing of us being in Newcastle, staying at the hotels and everything like that. And the whole day, because I played with the Quireboys, I think it was the night. I don't know if I played the night before or the night after. It was Friday or Saturday. The Quireboys played on a different stage, and then I played on the main stage with Spike's Free House. And it was a wonderful time. And so there's a little documentary coming out as well. And I'm going to release the duet that I've done with Frankie Miller. It's called Rain and Whiskey, and we've done the video for that. So that's going to be the single to promote it.
Oh, okay.
So, but it sounds great, man. I'm so pleased with it. And the guy, I mean, it's like, when you hear it, I was like, wow. I was like going, Luke said to me, he says, did we have backing singers? And I was like, how would we have backing singers? And he says, well, who's singing the backing vocals? I says, that's you and Nick and Simon. I said, that's how good you sounded. It sounds great. So it was like, it was a great day.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Great day. Yeah.
Because how did you meet Frankie
And I see
Miller then?
Slash was there that day, and I was sitting in the next caravan to him, and he was like, what the fuck are you doing playing free songs? And I was like, and then we were like, he was like, oh my God, that's incredible.
Yeah.
So I couldn't believe it. So it was a really cool day. We met loads of people that day. It was really good. Really good.
I bet, yeah. I was saying, how did you meet Frankie Miller?
The first, well, what happened? I did meet Frankie. We were trying to figure this out. I did meet him once. I think it was the Brit Awards, but we didn't really talk. But then what happened was I recorded "It's a Treat to Be Alive" with Paul and what I was talking about earlier with Michael Lee. And Paul said, he says, "Why don't you?" I've written some songs. He says, "Do you know what? It'd be great if you do." He'd just done the benefit concert for Frankie Miller up in Glasgow, and there was like Joe Walsh came, Brian Robertson came. There was all these people doing the thing for Frankie Miller, and he went, "Why don't we do Be Good to Yourself?" And that actually Andy Fraser wrote Be Good to Yourself, and we done Be Good to Yourself. When I'm Away From You, I done that as well on the album, and then Annette Miller, his wife, heard it, and then she started coming to Quireboys shows, and then she was like, she says, "You know what? Why I've got all these I've got all these songs that nobody's heard."
Okay.
That Frankie had recorded from the 70s, because he had his own studio in his house. It was on like not a Fostex, it was like the early things in the 70s, and she had them all translated to a different format, and she gave me them all, and she gave us like 400 and odd songs. Frankie had never released. So I went through all of them. It took us a long time to do, and then we put it all together. And she says, "Why don't you release an album?"
Yeah.
And so all them songs on. That's why there's Ian Hunter on there. There's Ronnie Wood. I didn't want to do it as a tribute album because there'd been a tribute album out before. Because these aren't songs that anybody had heard, and I thought the way to do it, I thought, and that's it. Let's just have friends of Frankie's and friends of mine, and we all had a lot of mutual friends.
Yeah.
So it was like, I know when I was doing the album, a lot of people were ringing up and going, "Oh, I'd love to do this," but you didn't really know Frankie, so we had to have a connection.
Yeah.
It wasn't going to be a tribute album,
Yeah.
And so hopefully, maybe I'll do another one at some point. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Because there's still so many great songs that nobody's heard. It's such a crime,
Yeah.
Yeah, just do it, man. Life's too short, isn't it?
He is the greatest singer,
Yeah.
Hey, Rod Stewart says he's the best.
Yeah.
Who might argue with Sir Rod?
Sir Rod of Rodders. Huh?
Yeah. But,
What was I going to say?
So hopefully we'll do that. But the video is really good. The video's been done. It was done a while ago, and it was when it cuts in with Frankie at Rock Palast.
Okay.
So I've took his vocal off, and I'm doing a duet with him on the thing. So
cool.
the video is like him at Rock Palast in Germany. It's like a show that used to be on all the time, and
yeah.
a bit like, not like the old Good Whistle Test, but it was like we played there at Rock Palast. They put concerts on, and then they put them on the TV, and so it's cut in between Frankie and me, different shows singing it. He's in the 70s, and now I'm in the whatever it is, still dressed like the 70s.
Yeah. That's really good.
But video, so, and it's a brilliant song. I've been playing it live on the acoustic shows I've been doing, and everybody seems to love it. So hopefully it'll keep Frankie Miller's name alive, and
why not?
do another album.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool.
I was going to say, you mentioned a Learjet earlier. I mean, if you compare the difference between the music scene in the 80s and what it is like today, I mean, financially, then how have you seen? I mean, you've obviously seen such a drastic change in revenue. How have you coped with that?
Well, the thing is, when you never see any money, when you're on tour anyway, you're in a bubble, aren't you?
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
So,
I mean, because you've flown all over the world, haven't you? I mean, you've lived probably all over the world as well.
Yeah, but when you're on tour and stuff, when you first start, well, when you first make you supposedly be making money, aren't you? Yeah. Because, and the Quireboys were massive at one point, I mean, we were the second biggest selling act on EMI to the Pet Shop Boys for 2 years running or something. It was ridiculous. And, but you don't really, see any of them. I know one thing, when we did stop touring, that was when you need the money.
Yeah.
Because we all went, my girlfriends have left me. We've got nowhere to live. Where the fuck are we going to go?
Yeah.
So it was like, no, let's just stay on tour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So we stayed on tour for years, Came home for Christmas to see my mum and dad's and what have you. But we were on tour for a long, long time, And then you find out where all your money's gone. Then you go, oh, okay. But we didn't do too bad. All of us done very well.
Okay.
Considering to other bands.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that was then. I mean, how about now? It's a totally different ball game, isn't it?
In what way? Oh, the difference is I get the Lenny Henry suite at the Premier Inn now.
No.
Is that what you're talking about?
You must be lucky then.
But the Lenny Henry suite, the good thing about Premier Inns is it's still got a bar next to it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, it's a step up from the Travel Lodge, but not too much.
No, but
do you know what? We never ever, even when we were huge, I never ever had my own room. I always shared with Guy Bate. Oh, we've went off.
You're off.
I don't know what's happened there.
Your camera's gone off.
I've got a low battery, lads. I'm sorry.
Ah, okay.
Oh no.
Has it come in?
Yeah, you're back in. You're back in.
I've got a low battery.
Plug us in.
I can't.
Oh, don't tell me I've got a charger.
How long was supposed to be on for?
2 hours.
I've got 10% left. Maybe, is that for me heart, or is it for the iPad thing?
Maybe I've got 10% left for my heart now. We've been trying to get this interview nailed down for weeks.
I'm sorry, I've cancelled a few times. I'm sorry. We'll get as much as we can.
Yeah, but no, I was just really comparing it to today's. I mean, you had all them record sales back in the day, and now you've got all the streaming stuff. I mean, financially, it must be a big difference.
Well, the thing is, if you look at the band, we ended up touring when we reformed in 2000. We really hadn't stopped.
Yeah,
and I think it's good that we were from that generation. That when album sales meant something, the streaming thing, I still haven't got my head around. Do you know what I mean? But, it's weird now because there's a thing out in America at the minute called Peacemaker with John Cena, which is a new TV series. And I Don't Love You Anymore and 7 O'Clock are huge at the minute in America. Okay. So after 30-odd years, I've got my first hit in America.
Oh, that's cool.
So,
is that John Cena the wrestler?
Pardon?
John Cena the wrestler. Yeah,
it's a thing called Peacemaker. It's from Marvel Comics or whatever it is.
All right, okay.
Marvel, I don't know. It's got by a guy called James Gunn. There's Tammy's on there. Tyler's on there with How Coming Out of Rains, and Tammy's on there with House of Pain. There's a lot of it. It hasn't been released in Europe yet or anywhere, but it's. I've been on doing interviews all the time for America about I Don't Love You Anymore.
Okay.
And
cool.
7 o'clock because it's a main part of the show.
Yeah.
Which is one of so there's things coming up all the time, lads. You know,
Yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah.
I'm going to go back and do a solo album and do everything. Just keep busy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, that's what you do, doing it, you know.
Of course it is.
Stand still, you die, like.
And I've got a guitar here. Should I write a song now?
Thank you.
Because we've got a radio show as well, you see.
All right, well, you've got it there.
We played 7 o'clock on one of our shows, actually.
Yeah, because our show actually comes on at 7 o'clock, so we started it up at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, so we played at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Do you know what's funny? Somebody asked me, because I get asked to do all these birthday messages and everything.
Hey, you can charge for that.
Things like that all the time. And somebody was like, and then I was like, you do so many. How much do you charge? And I was like, going, I don't charge anything. I wouldn't do shit like that. And then there's a company that does it.
Yeah.
It's like Justin from the I was like, how bad is that? You haven't got 2 minutes to fucking sing happy birthday to anybody, but you want 60 quid off them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
A lot of people do it, don't they?
Unbelievable.
What's the name of that company? I think we
it.
need to sign up to it, Dave.
I don't know. Hold on a second. 60 quid a pop. I did it with 5 last week. That could have been my beer money.
Yeah, for sure.
You can be my manager. I'll send you the 10%.
We'll get out there. No worries.
Yeah.
But you've got a massive tour this year, haven't you? You're touring all over the place this year.
Anybody who wants a birthday message, you can deal with it first, lads.
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
Do you think I'm going to get any money off you?
Yeah, you will. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll sort you out.
I'll give you 10%.
You don't know many.
That's the future. Happy birthday.
That's it.
That's the future. Oh, right. I'll do one now.
Oh, actually, it was David's birthday yesterday.
It was my birthday, yeah.
Happy birthday.
It was his birthday yesterday. It was David's birthday yesterday.
Happy birthday, dear David. Happy birthday to you. I know you went the wrong chord then.
Awesome, thank you. Terry will send you the 60 quid.
No, I'm doing the wrong chord. Just send us 40.
Send him the 6 quid. He's got to send me 60.
I did a wrong chord. Send us 40.
Well, we're probably going to lose you in a minute because your battery's going to go flat.
I know. I'm sorry, lads.
That's all right. No
Call
worries.
us any time. You got my number now.
No, I haven't. I got your email address.
My email or whatever.
But I will. I'll mail you again.
Can you see this guitar?
Yeah, it's beautiful, yeah.
Isn't that lovely what he done for me?
Yeah.
I didn't have
really
a guitar
nice.
when I come back from America, and he sent me 2 guitars, and he painted me this one, Tyler, as well. But he's wonderful. Go on to Tyler's Art Tavern and have a look at all the stuff that he sells. It's wonderful.
Cool.
Hey, you
He
need to
does
give him a ring.
suitcases. Huh?
You need to give him a ring. I've emailed him about 5 times to come on this podcast, and he never answers me.
He's a very busy man.
I know he is. He's always doing his merch.
Of course he is. Look, he's big. Hold on, he's doing my merch for me. Come on.
Even Will's had a word with him.
Huh?
Even Will's had a word with him for me, but I still can't get hold of him.
I'll call him up tonight.
Yeah, all right, mate.
I'll call him up tonight about 3 a.m.
Yeah, you'll love that.
When he's well. We're still on that time zone. You know what Tyler done to me once, right? It's just funny. When I lived in Hollywood, when I lived on Beechwood Drive, and it was my 28th birthday, right? And this is before mobile phones. And I don't know to this day, honestly, I don't know how, but to this day, he got my phone number at my house in Hollywood, right? And I picked up the phone, he went, "Ha! You're not going to be a legend."
Okay.
Got the phone, dude. Because you know when you're 27, you're going to be a legend if you
you're gonna
die.
die, yeah.
He rang his only 28th and he went, "Ha!" And then just put the phone down. I was like, It's, you know, he's a funny bugger. Anyway. All right, lads.
All right,
God
mate.
bless you.
And
Yeah.
Anytime
thanks for
you want us
coming
to
on.
do it again. I'll
yeah,
get the
we'll
chords
check
out for
back in
Happy
later in the
Birthday.
year when you've got something to release, and
Well, it is. There's a few things coming out, so it's going to be good.
that'll be
All
cool.
right, then.
Yeah,
Hey, God
cracking
bless
stuff.
Thanks,
Yeah,
mate.
thanks for coming on.
Thanks for coming on.
you. Have a great time in Holland.
Yeah, thanks. We only just come out of lockdown, so
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay.
But we're all free now. We're all free again
Oh, brilliant. All right, then.
for 5 minutes. And
Is that Rolling Stones bar still there? With the huge Stones liquor outside?
we're in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm nowhere
And all
near
the players
Amsterdam.
Rolling
Am I?
Stones
I'm in
song.
Eindhoven.
All right, sorry, man. All right.
I'm like 2 hours away.
All right, then. Okay.
All right then.
Is that what you have to drive 2 hours to get your drugs?
No, mate.
No, I guess that's sent to him. You don't have to worry about that.
I don't have to drive anywhere. People have to drive to me.
Don't put your dress out on the net. All right, then. Luckily, my days of drugs are over.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah. Too old for that shenanigans now.
That's it. I mean, yeah, you're probably the same age as me, I guess.
70?
Well, born in 70.
I'm not telling you. They've got my age wrong on Wikipedia. So
Have they really? Because I was going to say, you're actually a bit younger than... You're in between myself and Terry.
I'm way younger than that. We got it wrong. Yeah.
Well, you look younger anyway. I got
Yeah, that's right.
You do. You don't look like you've aged since you were about 30. You must have had a hard
30?
life up to 30, yeah.
All right. Not even fucking 30 yet, lad. All right, then.
All right, take it easy, man.
Cheers, pal.
Take it easy. Cheers.
Again.
All right.
Will do.
All right.
Thanks, Mike.
God bless
At
you.
the
See
tube.
you later. Hey, the richest club in the world, pal.
They are now, and they
Yeah.
just...
I know. Got me box back at Newcastle.
Oh,
See you later.
Ta-ra.
Ta-da.
God bless. Bye.
Ta-da.